Today, I want to talk about the most important asset you can have if you want to have a world-class, effective, and efficient organization of your own function, whether it be risk management or internal audit. I'm going to talk mostly about internal audit, but the same principles apply. The most important is the people. Having the right people to do the work that you need to be done with high quality depends entirely upon having the right team. I was extraordinarily lucky when I took my first position as a head of internal audit, which is at the Tosco Corporation. Tosco at the time was a $2 billion company, and they had just moved the headquarters and the primary back office operations from Southern California up to Northern California. So all the accounting people and the treasury and many of the marketing people moved from Santa Monica in Los Angeles to Concord, Northern California, which is in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. And the IT people moved from Bakersfield up there. The internal audit team had been previously situated partly in Santa Monica and partly in Bakersfield. And when I took over, they had all decided to leave. There was one lady that I wanted to retain, and she was from the Santa Monica team. Very smart young lady, very smart indeed, very personable, and clearly had a lot of potential. But she decided, without even meeting with me and talking to me and giving me the opportunity to sell her on the opportunity that there might be an internal audit just continuing with Tosco, she decided to change careers, become a personal shopper. Okay, well, I hope, I haven't stayed in touch with her, but I hope she has been successful. So then I had to build a team. And I talked to the CFO because I wanted to know, what's my budget? What is my budget when it comes to this internal audit team, which I'm just restarting? And I want to know what that is so that I can staff accordingly. And he said, you can have the same number of people as your predecessor. I said, same number of people, not dollars. He said, oh, just the same number of people. So, okay. He had 3 people, a manager, a senior, and an entry-level person, this lady. So I decided I was going to hire 3 managers. After all, with 3 managers, I can get a lot more done. I can provide more experience through the team in terms of being able to understand what the business is doing and to make suggestions where suggestions and improvements are necessary. So I was extraordinarily lucky to be able to build a team from scratch and hire the people that I felt I needed to get the job done. And my focus was on hiring people who were business people first and auditors second. People who could understand, if not necessarily, and in fact, many of them did become members of the management team, but they came with the objective and the principle of our job is to help them be successful. In fact, after a little while, only a few months, maybe 4, 5, 6 months, the company's newsletter people decided to write a story for the company newsletter about internal audit, which I thought was excellent. I don't know where they came up from that. And so I decided to tell this lady, the editor, to go and interview my 3 people without me present. And what I found out was that one of them, this lady, Deborah Davies, lovely lady, she told the newsletter editor that what we did in internal audit was to be like a bee, going from flower to flower to flower and spreading best practices, understanding what is working well, and then helping everybody else bring their practices up. And I thought, what a wonderful, wonderful way of thinking about internal audit, that our job is really to help everybody move up to highly effective world-class operations. Very lucky to hire the right people. As I changed the focus of internal audit, as the company grew quite substantially, it went from 2 to about 50 billion in the 10 years that I was there before they sold the company. We got into different areas. The risks were different. I needed to get more into some of the environmental compliance areas, and so I was able to bring on board a lady who had the environmental auditing qualifications. I was able to also hire an engineer who was also a CPA, which is a win-win. And so over time, build the team to do what was needed. Some people, they do what they have the capability of doing. I prefer to understand where we can add value and then make sure that I have the right people to do it with the right attitude, the right experience, the right willingness to work in collaboration with management to get the job done and to help everybody succeed. Later, for example, as the company was moving into more complex and sophisticated IT systems, and we were moving into areas where the IT department did not have experience, I brought on a systems programmer by background, because I could have him work with my more experienced IT audit managers to do the auditing aspect of it. But he came with a great experience, great understanding of the technical issues, and was able to add huge value. So having the right people makes all the difference. At another company, I inherited a team that was unfortunately not full of world-class people. There were a few people that I had to find other jobs for, so that over time I was going to be able to move to perform the kind of work at the quality that I needed. We need always to make sure we have the right team. We then need to get out of their way, help them, give them direction where they need to set the goal, but then let them perform and let them grow, and then let them succeed. At Tosca, we acquired this business in Phoenix, which was the Circle K convenience store. And I brought on one of my former teams, actually from Cooper's and Librand days, to be my IT audit director, to lead that team down in Phoenix. And he very quickly was hired into the IT department to run their information security function. I hired another person and then another person, and they kept on getting sucked into management. And that's great. That's great for management, that's great for the company, and it's great for the reputation and ability of internal audit, that we were a feeder of outstanding individuals. But it comes back down to the point, is you as a CAE, the head of internal audit, or the head of risk management, or head of anything, depend upon the quality of your people. And we need to nurture them, we need to help them, we need to encourage them to grow, and then we also need to let them get on with it so we can all be successful. I hope you have a great team. This is fun. Thank you.